Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. As you guys can see up on the screen behind me, today we're going to be talking about Counter Logic Gaming, talking about CLG. Obviously, they have had a very rough start to the season. I believe they are sitting at 1-5 right now in the LCS. They finally did just pick up their first win against Golden Guardians, but it's been a weird start to the season with Pobelter getting benched, RJS coming in. The team hasn't necessarily looked great on the Rift. They've played some games where they've actually gotten some leads, but it seems like every single game, every single week, they're just finding a way to lose rather than finding a way to win. And it's been really hard to be a CLG fan recently. After the offseason, it seemed like they had some hype pickups. Things were maybe looking a little bit up for the organization, looking up for the team, and then things have just come crashing right back down. But today, we're going to be talking about what, in my opinion, is some pretty big and exciting news for CLG fans, and something to maybe get you a little bit excited about, get you a little bit happy about the LCS once again. But before we get into that, I just want to mention real quick, if you guys have not already, please take a quick second and absolutely smash that like button. I would appreciate it so much. It really helps me out the YouTube algorithm and just helping grow my channel, grow my content, running those numbers up. It would be absolutely insane. It would be awesome. It also just helps me know kind of what different types of videos you guys actually like and enjoy and want to see more of, and what I should probably never ever do again. Also, subscribe to stay updated on my latest content, so you guys don't miss out on any of the awesome content, videos, discussions, all that stuff that we have going on in the future, because we're gonna have a lot of content coming out, so you want to stay up to date on all that. If you like the LCS, I'm a great resource and source about LCS news, topics, all that stuff. With that being said, here we go, getting right into this. CLG, a couple of hours ago, I don't think I'm gonna post this video until tomorrow though, so it'll actually be yesterday. CLG tweeted out Visa update from Broxah. Obviously, we've been waiting for a Visa update. The last one we heard was, it seems like maybe even about a month ago at this point, where Broxah was saying February at the earliest he would get an update on his Visa. Hopefully he'd get approved. Hopefully it'd get to him. Hopefully he'd be able to be over here. But again, we're already 2 weeks into the LCS season. I believe we only have 4 weeks left. So he's missed about a third of the season, which is really unfortunate. CLG's obviously been off to a slow start, but if we can get some good news about his Visa, that would be awesome. There were some concerns that he might not be able to come back till March. Maybe he might have to miss the entire spring split. So CLG fans and really everyone in the LCS has just kind of been wondering, because Broxah is a popular guy with a lot of fans over in Europe, in NA. He's, just people wondering about what's going on with him. And I believe he is the last player that was having Visa issues still. I think he's the last player that's supposed to be starting on his team that has not made it over yet. So let's see what he has to say. Let's hear what this big Visa update is from the man himself on the Broxah Twitter account.
I'm back. And for once, I actually have good news for all of you. You're not gonna believe it. I barely believe it, because it has finally happened. My Visa not only has gotten approved, I received it today about, 30 minutes ago, and I feel so happy, I feel so relieved, and I'm really excited to finally be able to join my team. I cannot wait to travel. It it has felt difficult, tough. It has been a rough one going through this once again, but now I'm remaining positive. I'm excited to join up with the team, and I'm so happy to share this with all of you. It feels so good.
So, like he said, he's going through all this stuff again. This is obviously a very similar situation to what he dealt with last year in Team Liquid, where he had the Visa issues where he couldn't join his team until a couple weeks in the season. And just like last season, he is joining a team that is struggling. Team Liquid, as good as they were last year, they were not good in the spring split, and they were not good prior to getting Broxah. They did have a lot of issues, and Broxah had to come in and try and save them, and he couldn't really do that. And once again, he's being called in to hopefully ask to help the CLG team. Now, if there's anybody who is, maybe a little bit more accustomed to, not even accustomed, but a little bit more apt to dealing with this properly, it could be Broxah. Because yes, this is very tilting. This is very frustrating, especially, like, why me? Why am I the last person to get into the LCS 2 years in a row? Why is this happening to me again? But he went through it last year. Even though it was overall a negative experience, probably really shitty, didn't really work out well, hopefully he was able to learn some things for, how to do it differently this time, how to be better prepared, what things to maybe do. But it's obviously going to be way, way more difficult this time on the CLG roster, because last year that TL roster was very, very talented. They were just kind of underperforming. They were having a bunch of issues going on. Now, CLG has those same amount of issues going on, all the craziness of what's going on with their roster, even without Broxah, but then, trying to fit in a new jungler in the middle of the season, it's crazy. It's very, very difficult, and just a much less talented team overall. But again, it is at least great news that Broxah finally has his visa. It is in his hands. He's going to be making his way over to the United States. We have still not heard official word from CLG whether or not Broxah is going to be starting this weekend. I'm sure they don't want to say yet because we still have to see how his travel goes, when he's able to get tickets, when he can actually get to the United States, and then probably just depending on what day and time he gets here, how he's feeling, how much time they have left to practice, how much time they have left to scrim, and just, how he's dealing with it. Because when Team Liquid had Santorin coming over, they gave him the first week off to get over jet lag, to kind of get his life under control before he started worrying about League of Legends. So Broxah could maybe play this weekend. He could, at the very latest, he will be playing next weekend. You would imagine that's what conventional wisdom would tell you. But we will just have to see how that goes. When we take a look at CLG's upcoming schedule, this next weekend, they actually have for some reason their Sunday game isn't showing up, but they have CLG against Cloud9 on Friday, and then Immortals on Saturday. Maybe there's not games on Sunday for some reason. I don't know. That would be weird. I don't think that is the case, but anyway, they do have games against Cloud9 and Immortals, so Cloud9 is going to be a tough game no matter what, whether or not Broxah plays. Immortals should be a little bit more of a winnable game. Immortals has looked decent, but not completely unbeatable. So if he plays this weekend, that's kind of what he's looking forward to. If he doesn't play till the next weekend, their schedule's maybe a little bit more difficult. 100 Thieves, a really, really tough team. TSM has been trending upwards, and Dignitas has quietly been a really, really solid team to start the season. So while, yes, as you can see on that screen, CLG is 1-5 right now, the schedule doesn't get much easier for him. They have a lot of tough games up and coming, and Broxah has his work cut out for him. Again, maybe trying to fight the CLG team into the playoffs, which it might even be too late for that. But overall, just hoping that he looks good, that he comes in, helps the team look better, because, yes, CLG has not looked good to start the season, but again, with all the weird stuff going on, of benching Pobelter, having to mix in RJS in the middle of the season, Finn even showed up late and kind of didn't have a ton of time to scrim and practice with the team and stuff, and then obviously Griffin, Wiggly, whatever you want to call him, having to come in with the team as well when he was not projected to be. So having a mid-jung duo that you expected to be your academy mid-jung duo as your starting team, that's not great, and then now having to mix in those players kind of one piece at a time. Pobelter still sitting in academy. Just overall, a lot of crazy weird things going on for CLG. But Broxah, you expect to be a pretty significant upgrade over Griffin. He has not really been the reason that CLG has been losing, I would say. He has not been good, but he hasn't been exceptionally bad or anything like that. He hasn't been necessarily terrible. And CLG as a whole hasn't really looked great, so it's been kind of hard to shine too much. Again, CLG has had some leads. They've just, as a team, have not been able to play very well to close that stuff out. I don't know if Broxah will be able to come in and fix a lot of their problems, mistakes, and issues, but we know that he has a lot to prove. We know he's probably hungry to get the opportunity to start proving that he can be a top-tier, high-level jungler once again, and that is exactly what CLG needs. At this point, they need all the help they can get, and at the very least, it will be exciting for CLG fans to have something to be a little bit more excited about, to be hyped up about, because they really have not had a ton of that this season. So I don't think things are going to magically, just snap their fingers. Oh, Broxah's here. Now we're good to go, especially with how he played last season, which wasn't even that exceptional. But I do think he has a chance to rebound and be a very, very solid, if not an upper tier jungler this season. But it will be difficult on the CLG team, so we will see how that goes. But I do, kind of just expect them to keep losing in the short term. When we take a look at the standings, they are currently tied for last with Golden Guardians. Obviously, they're coming off a win against Golden Guardians. So, at the very least, maybe you can say they're not the worst team in the LCS. But when you took a look at this roster on paper coming into the season, I think a lot of people had this team rated 6th, 7th, somewhere in there. And they are only one game back of 7th place right now. So they're just, a win over Immortals away from being right there with it. But again, you saw that upcoming schedule where they have Cloud9 tied for first, 100 Thieves tied for first. They're playing the top 4 teams as 4 of their next 6 games. So, I mean, there's a world where CLG could be 2-9, something like that, and maybe that's last place, maybe that's ninth place, but you're not getting much higher than ninth if you're 2-9, and that is really, really tough. Fortunately for CLG, obviously this is the season where I mean, I guess really unfortunately for them, because if spring split just didn't matter at all, that'd probably be better for them. But, you know, you have the spring split and the summer split put together, so you still have so much of your season ahead of you. If you can kind of get Broxah in here, RJS starts leveling up as, like, becoming hopefully an LCS-type mid laner. Maybe they even find a replacement for him or something. Who knows exactly how that's going to go. CLG does have time to kind of right the ship and figure things out, but historically, CLG hasn't really been a team that kind of, you know, develops a ton of talent. They kind of figure things out over the course of the season. If anything, they kind of get worse usually, or mismanage things in such a poor way. But yeah, I don't think this visa issue is mismanagement or anything necessarily that was their fault. I just think this was something that happened. I think it was unlucky. You know, they were able to get Finn in and everything all right. But yeah, the big news is that Broxah finally has his visa. He's finally going to be headed to the United States. You know, we wish him well. We wish him the best, safe travels, all that stuff. Hopefully he gets over here. I want to see all the teams at their top, whether you like CLG or not. You know, you should want to see all the teams at their top strength. It's good for the LCS, good for the league, and just good for everybody involved. You know, he's a nice guy. He's a good guy. He doesn't deserve to be going through this stuff. It really sucks. It's got to be annoying. You know, things outside of your control are preventing you from doing your job, working your profession, doing your career. And at least, thankfully, hopefully in a short time, he will be finally debuting in the 2021 season of the LCS. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed it. I would appreciate it so much. It really does help my channel and my content out way more than you guys know. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about this whole situation? Do you think CLG is going to get better with Broxah, stay the same, get worse? I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on anything we talked about in today's video. Subscribe to stay updated on my latest content. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace!